Keys by Will Harrison.
Recording in progress.
Jamie, can you hear us over there? Are you live?
I can.
All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. We ready to go?
We're ready, Jamie.
All right. So, good afternoon. Call to order the August 2025 Plastic Reduction Bylaw Task Force meeting. My apologies for having to participate remotely. Nothing has come up. So I noticed we have, Mary was on vacation and a few folks aren't there. I don't think we have quorum problems to worry about. I'm not anticipating votes have to be taken, but I do think it's important that we get information out today. So I'll start with the discussion of the Board of Health meeting that took place last Monday night. Myself and Barry and Mary attended. There were other task force members present as well. We informed the board of the charge of the task force, the work that we had done, the educational component that led to the draft regulation that they had in front of them for that evening. And I think it's fair to characterize, and those who were in attendance, correct me if you disagree, that this was very well favorably received by the Board of Health. Any thoughts or comments on following up on that, Barry or anybody else who was there?
Again, it was very smooth, very well presented to them. The board, I think they understood where we're coming from, our purpose, our mission, all that stuff. And they understand the what we're doing and why we're doing it, and the great purpose behind it. Not just trying to repeal the other bylaw. They understand that we're wanting to move forward, and it will take baby steps. So,
and just to add, the board certainly is in agreement with the purpose to try to reduce the use of plastic in Yarmouth. And I think that mainly they wanted to hear from Barry that the regulation was going to be workable for the department and the health inspectors. And he was able to assure them that. So I don't think there was any problem or disagreement with the board.
No, I think the two notable questions that were raised were, one, the difference between a variance and a waiver that was addressed, and then secondly, and I think appropriately, one of the things we talked about is, what about businesses that have inventory on hand, and how do we address that? And I think, as we had discussed, those that have inventory are going to be permitted to essentially utilize that inventory and then come into compliance, where the current regulation wouldn't allow that. And I think that was the chair posed that question. That was the response. And again, I don't think there was any problem with that, because again, we're not out to cause financial hardship here. We're here to phase in a reduction, and I think that was well received.
definitely.
So a couple of things of note before that meeting. We did receive an opinion from town council, who approved as to form. Council made one suggested revision. For those who have the bylaw in front of them, it is paragraph 11, enforcement. And council added a paragraph, C as in Charlie, and I'll read it. It reads, and I quote, "Issuance of a fine shall not preclude enforcement in equity, period, close quote." And what that means is that while we have first offense, second offense, and the ability to fine, that allows the town, for a flagrant offender, as it were, to have the possibility of being enjoined or having a court order to preclude them from the continued violation of a health regulation. It's not uncommon in other health regulations. It's not uncommon in zoning regulations, conservation, etc. So that was, I think, a helpful add that put some teeth into the enforcement aspect of this. And other than that, council had no issue with what we had put together.
Yeah, in fact, town council said great job for the committee, wanted to pass that along, so nice work.
And then council also approved kind of the format that we discussed. That is, we would proceed ultimately with this being brought forward for the Board of Health's consideration to pass as a regulation of theirs, and then proceed to fall town meeting, presumably with that bylaw passed, to then ask town meeting to rescind the current general bylaw. So he also commented favorably on that process going forward. Did I get that right, Bob?
Yes, exactly. And just to kind of, recap a little bit, what we'll be doing is, through the select board, sponsoring an article to seek to rescind the bylaw. And it'll be a simple article. Town council's given us an idea, keep it simple, and he'll review it. So I'll be submitting that article for the town meeting, and there's a deadline of September 12 for all the articles, so I've already got it in the packet. So that's good, and what we hope to do is to be able to, the town meeting date is going to be November 17, so we're hoping to have the Board of Health process wrapped up by then so that we can inform the town meeting that, the Board of Health has adopted regulations that, are essentially identical, and so it makes it a superfluous bylaw.
The process, as I understand it going forward now, is we should endeavor to get on the next select board agenda, which I think is the 26th. I think it is our responsibility as a task force to report back to the appointing authority our recommendation so that they can be aware of it, they can support it, they can choose to take whatever approach that they want to take on it. I think it's incumbent that we do that, assuming that they have no issue with what we're doing. My understanding is the next health agenda, Barry, help me out here, September 22nd?
That's as soon as we can get it on, just so we have time to properly post the public hearing and stuff, and get it out to the public per open,
So,
yeah.
so theoretically, if all the bases are touched and the notices are provided, they could vote that evening,
Yes, sir.
theoretically.
Yes, we'll put it on that night for a vote.
Jamie, I don't know if we can squeeze on the August 26th Select Board agenda.
Okay.
Is it a problem if it, was pushed to the next agenda, which would be the first one
No,
in September?
let me just look at a calendar. No, if we can't get the 26th, when's the next one? The
It's maybe, September 10? Is that a Tuesday?
9 or 10? Is it a
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah, it's
It'll
the
be the
week
9th.
after Labor Day.
Yeah, it'd be the 9th then, or the Tuesday after Labor Day. Labor Day's the
Second.
1st this year.
Second, then.
All right, so that
So
would
it'd
be
be the
9.
second.
Yeah, the one after, that week, they won't meet the week of Labor Day.
Oh, okay, the
They'll
one
meet-
after.
So
It'd be the 9th.
So that
Be
would
the
be
9th.
September 9.
But we could still get ourselves ready to go on the 22nd. You can always take the item off the agenda for the health board if we needed to, but I think it makes sense to try to put it on there. What do you think, Barry?
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
we need it on
Okay.
there. Get it done and get it processed.
Bob, does the select board have a sense for what we're doing? I know they haven't had a complete report, but,
Yeah, well,
mean,
we
you-
had a good meeting with them last time, and plus we've had, there's a member of the select board that's on this committee.
Right, Mark,
Who's attended
yeah.
some of our meetings.
Yes.
And then we had another, so
Liz has been
interested.
here, too.
So, yeah, I think the select board is ready to roll, and I
Good.
think they'll be supportive of the whole process.
Okay, good.
Oh, great. And then the only other topic is, I think we met last time with communications folks about the outreach and uploading things on the website and everything else, and I'd like to get everyone else's thoughts on the timing of that. I'm not sure it's in the best interest to upload that stuff now because we haven't gotten the directive from the select board. That's just my personal thought, but I'm curious to know what everyone else would think in terms of timing.
I would say right after the 22nd meeting, that it's official regulation that we start sending out blasts. That's my opinion. maybe even before, to get people to come to that Board of Health meeting. More public knowledge.
If the select board kind of gives us the green light to go ahead on the 9th, then why not try to have everything ready to go on the 10th? The more information we get out there, the more people we let know about the health process, I think the better. That's just my personal preference.
That's my thought, too.
Sounds good.
Okay. I guess just to kind of go back to the health board meeting, for anybody who was present there, I know, Mary, you were on the board and comment on it, but I know others were there. Any other thoughts or comments from members who were present? No?
Very well.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Anything else on the Board of Health from the other night or the process we've got going here? We did schedule this meeting particularly to kind of discuss what transpired at the health board, but it went pretty well. So there's not a whole lot that we have to necessarily spend a lot of time talking about. It went well. Okay. How about communication purposes? Anything else I know Mary has provided the packet of information regarding the charge, the public hearings, the recordings of these sessions that we've had. So they're all there. I think Paul has them all. The last thing we're waiting for is, I think Amy from the chamber was going to help kind of craft a message for us to see and review, but we have time for that now because we're talking September 10th before this is going to upload. So I'll follow up with Mary when she's back from vacation, to follow up with Amy to circulate for all of our review what that message would look like on the website. I can't think of anything else that we need to do by way of communication.
We just need to work directly with the IT department and Lori and Paul,
Right.
get them as much information as we have, and then just start saturating the social media with it.
Barry, in terms of meeting with the businesses, how is that going? Has that started?
I was kind of waiting to see what this is, but
Okay.
I can work with Phil to start getting, once we get this officially done and together, I want to start reviewing it with Phil, so he knows what we can do, then we can start going out and
Okay.
meeting the businesses. We can also send out a mass email. So we have the ability to do that also.
Good.
I wanted to bring up a
I think that,
point.
Go
Jamie,
ahead, Bob.
because on this topic, and maybe just to kind of mull over a little bit in terms of, we're talking about the messaging now, and, there's a tendency to get wound up in process and to start thinking our message is, we don't want a bylaw, we want a health regulation, and all of this stuff that nobody cares about. And I would say is that a central focus of our message is that the town of Yarmouth is entering this leadership to eliminate plastic from the food service waste stream. That's what the message is. And, we're gonna, be working, the rest is just details. We're working through the Board of Health, we're approaching it with a regulation. There'll be action at town meeting, this or that. But the key thing, and I say this for the Board of Health too, because I had a little chat with the chairman, and he had asked me kind of what we were doing, and he expressed, I thought it was very great, an interest in having the town show some leadership on this issue, on the reduction in plastics, and he thought that was real important, and it kind of struck a theme in me that started thinking that that's really all we're doing here is we're trying to show some leadership as a community. We started off through a petition process and it's evolved, but now we're at the point where we're approaching an implementation phase of it. So to get the community ready that, we've identified plastic in the food service industry as something that has to be reduced, and we're going to start reducing it, and everyone's working together on it. And those, I think, are the themes it's important to get out into the public. because there's a lot more to it than this bylaw versus a regulation and all this other stuff.
Yep. Keep it
Kiss
simple.
method.
Yep.
Yeah. I think we should have
Yeah,
some
and I-
sort of plan to keep it in layman's terms, when, especially going into businesses. You know, I think from the business perspective, a lot of businesses they'll have the same questions, right? We even saw it in some of the meetings, from Stop and Shop to Shaw's to Cape Cod Paper. They all asked very similar questions to the board. So to have some sort of preparation of answers for those right off the bat, and I think to explain that we're working together, that community is a sense of a group of people from all different backgrounds working towards a common goal, right? So it isn't necessarily all plastic is gone, right? We're working with the business community, and that it's not as scary as it may sound, right? That there can be a lot of good that comes out of this, which is nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and when those were some themes that I thought were carried across extremely well in the Falmouth video, and they sort of resonated with me. The idea that it was a community effort, people were working together for more of a common good, and that the one guy that was talking, he was saying flat out, "Oh, I was all scared at first, but then now I've learned, and since people are working together, and I'd love to have that kind of." Exactly like you're saying, that theme is that this is an initiative that we've got all segments of the community working together, you know, to have this leadership. So it's really kind of neat, I think, you know, and there's a lot to say about what we're doing here. I mean, this is really one of our most important sort of task forces. We haven't had a lot of teams like this, and you guys have nailed it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, I think when we met, Amy at the chamber was going to kind of help direct all that messaging. Remember, we talked about having a script that health agents or your interns could go out and provide some information to businesses. But I agree, that's a great approach, and we'll make sure we get Amy to try to stay in that lane. That's what she does.
But there will be questions, like Aidan said, and I think that, you know, just a few FAQs maybe, you know, some of the ones that have come up the most, or that are apt to come up the most, that, so the businesses are getting a little bit more than, you know, just kind of a pat announcement.
Okay.
And people like to know what to expect, right?
Yeah.
Hey, this is what to expect coming from this, not shock and awe.
Right. If it's affecting them, certainly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I think the next item we've got on the agenda is just to approve the minutes from 8/6/25. Does everyone, do we have a chance to review them?
Yes.
Anybody have any questions? All right,
I
anyone
move
like
that-
to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the 8:25
Second.
meeting.
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, all opposed? Okay, that carries. Other business? Anyone have anything there?
The packaging,
Okay,
I'm sorry, Jamie.
No.
I might have missed it because I apologize for being late. The packaging reduction bylaw, packaging impact summary that was sent out for this meeting, what was that all about? I mean, it's great.
I think Mary was providing that to us because she was provided that by Stop and Shop. That was what they were prepared to provide us as some.
deck, right.
There were certain, I'll call them proprietary things that they were not willing to share, which is fine. And they were willing just to give us these educational materials that
Okay.
we could use as we saw fit for our messaging. That's
Okay.
what I understood it to be.
Okay, thank you.
I guess my question is, we have a next meeting scheduled for a week from today, but is that what do we think we're gonna accomplish at that point? If Mary's away this week, I'm not sure we're gonna get the message from Amy, though I'll ask for it. Do we wanna maybe push it out a little further than that? I mean, I'm happy to have the meeting, but I'm trying to get a consensus I wanna be productive, but mindful of everyone's time here. So what are your thoughts on the next meeting date?
I say we push it out to the 3rd. That gives us 2 weeks.
Okay? I don't have a problem with that. That should give us enough time to have some type of messaging and then be ready for the 10th following the select board meeting. Does that work for everybody else?
Yep.
Okay, so instead of the 27th, we'll do 9/3. We'll just have to make sure that this meeting room is available. We can always pivot to the chamber if need be. I'll reach out over there even though Mary's gone. But I guess Mary, you always check with Mary Alice, Bob, to find out if the meeting room was available.
I can ask Mary Alice today, too.
Okay. But we'll operate on the assumption that it is for right now. So, is everybody good with 9/3, 2:30 p.m.? We're assuming town hall?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Anybody have anything else? Short and sweet today.
Jamie, it's Christina from Stop and Shop.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, good. Hope everybody's doing well. I just wanted to clarify and actually just reaffirm with you, yes, your comments about the information we were giving Mary. I believe we sent it to her.
Yeah.
So I think it's that box can get checked off. I think they've got the information that we were sharing.
Yep. No, we have it, and thank you for
Awesome.
doing that.
Okay. Perfect.
And I will point out, if you didn't listen to the meeting the other night, we went out of our way to educate the health board, the Board of Health, excuse me, of all the collaborative effort that we've got from you folks in particular, and other small businesses and other industries like Cape Cod Paper that helped us with basically learning what we needed to learn. As I put it, if we were going to try to reduce something, we might as well learn as much as we can about it. And you folks were very, very instrumental in giving us that education. So we did give a big thank you to you, and I'd like to just say it again, that thank you for all that you folks did to help us get us to where we are today.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think it's been a wonderful partnership across the board with everybody just to get this to a good place. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay, anyone have anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. So with that, motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, everyone, thank you. We'll see you all 9/3.